Hi there, my name is Krista Dalby and I'm the Artistic Director of the Department of Illumination in Picton, Ontario, Canada. We are an arts organization dedicated to bringing joy and creativity to our rural community of Prince Edward County. And we do this in a number of ways. We produce festivals, processions, workshops, group dances, and bike parades. We make giant puppets, surprise boxes, music videos, art installations, and outdoor exhibitions. We value art in our shared public spaces, using recycled materials and engaging people of all ages with creativity. During these strange COVID times, we were invited by our friends at Toronto's Kickstart Arts to collaborate with them on a project to uplift our collective spirits, and this project is called Circles of Joy. We started by hosting a series of online storytelling circles, where we gathered with friends and strangers, conjuring up stories of joy from our own lived experience and sharing them with each other. We all know there have been some pretty dark days during the pandemic, and gathering online with friends and strangers and sharing our stories really was such an uplifting process. And so we met several times as a group, we polished up our best stories, and we recorded them as audio stories. These stories now live on the Kickstart Arts website in an archive of joy, which you can visit and listen to. We've now embarked on the second phase of the project, which is we've selected 18 artists, some from Toronto and some from Prince Edward County, and they listened to all of the stories in the archive. They selected a story that spoke to them, and now over the next couple of months, they're going to be going away, they're going to be creating an artistic response to their story. And all of these artistic outcomes are going to be presented at a one-day Festival of Joy that's happening on May 14th, 2022 here in Picton. And it should be quite interesting because we have artists of many different disciplines represented. We have dancers, we have musicians, we have painters, we have poets, and we have all sorts of multidisciplinary artists that are full of surprises, and we cannot wait to see what they come up with. Now I'm going to introduce you to three of the artists taking part in Circles of Joy.
Hi, my name is Annelise Noronha, and I am a composer and a musician and a music producer and an audio engineer, and I live here in Wellington, Prince Edward County. We're here at Mount Tabor Theatre in Milford. This is a historic church that was built in 1867 and got converted into a theater venue in 1985. It has been the magical home of so much theater productions here, local theater productions and music concerts and comedy shows and however else people need to use it. It's one of my favorite places in all of the county. I personally have had my foray into theater here in this venue, where the arts here in the county, the local theater scene, have really brought me a lot of my lifelong friendships. So I'm grateful that it exists, and I love it here. It gives me a very warm and special feeling. I chose a story that was written by Sheena Robertson, and the reason why her story resonated with me is that it was this magical feeling of being in a deserted U of T building, and through the halls and the full moon coming through these cathedral-like windows, she heard someone rehearsing Debussy's Clair de Lune, which is a magical piece of music that I feel very strongly about and have had a similar experience to her with that piece of music. So the idea that we can collaborate and I can use some themes from that piece and then try to imagine the stars and the moon and the feeling that she had of magic when she got to sit there and listen to him perform.
Hi, I'm Andrew McLuhan. I am a furniture restorer, a poet, an artist, a father, a husband, many things. And I used to work here at Picton's Regent Theatre. I worked here for about 10 years following the successful showing of Banksy's Exit Through the Gift Shop. The Regent Theatre is a wonderful, kind of magical place in the community. It was established over 100 years ago in 1918, and it opened originally as a vaudeville house. It's actually older than film, which is kind of amazing. And it's remained a vital place in the community, a place for films, for plays, for musical performances. In fact, when I used to play with a punk band, I once performed on this stage to a crowd of high school students as one of the highlights of my life. You know, living in a rural setting is a lot different than urban life. It affects your creativity differently. I find I'm more inspired by the environment around me, by the natural things, by the wind and by the changing of the seasons, as opposed to when I was in the city and maybe you're affected more by the cycle of city life and the hustle and bustle. For Circles of Joy, I'm going to be writing a poem based on the story of somebody from the Circles of Joy group of recordings. It will be kind of an interpretation in poetry of a narrative story, and I'm really looking forward to both composing it and presenting it to the world. I think Circles of Joy is a great and very timely project, especially given the tough times people have had. I think we need a bit of a reminder of the joy that surrounds us, that encircles us, and I think it's always there if we just look for it.
I'm Arwyn Carpenter, and I'm a dancer and choreographer and writer and teacher, educator here in Prince Edward County. I'm at the Hayloft, which is a dance hall, which I've loved since I was a kid. Yeah, this is a very well-known place in the county. Everybody's got a story about the Hayloft. Lots of people have several stories of the Hayloft. Everyone remembers this place as a place of great excitement. I'm one of the creative team leaders for the Flight Festival, an outdoor contemporary dance festival here in Prince Edward County. We had a dream forever, actually, and because of the Hayloft, I've always imagined that this would make a wonderful space and a venue for dance as well. We've, as humans, lost dance along the way. You know, a lot of people feel uncomfortable dancing, or they don't have dance in their lives, and so what I'm hoping is that by bringing not just dance performance, but also dance education, teaching people to be moving in their bodies, and workshops for all ages, and that way the dance comes into the community not from an outside point of view, like through watching, but actually through internalizing it, and so people get to feel it and they connect with each other through movement. For Circles of Joy, I am both a storyteller, which was really fun to tell a story as a participant, and an artist, where I get to choose a story and create art about it. So the work that I'm doing is based on two stories, Vanessa and Patty, who each separately told stories of their shared love and their experience of dancing in the kitchen. So it seemed really perfect to come together with the idea of making a dance about this love that they found later in life, maybe unexpectedly, and now it just fills them so completely. And that's joy, you know? Can't get more joy than that. Yeah, I'm learning what joy is through this project, hearing other people's stories of joy and recognizing that there's this universal longing to feel a fullness, a purposefulness, and then this joy is like a surprise. I love it, because it's like you don't expect it and suddenly your heart is full. Good.
Those are just a few of the artists that are part of the Circles of Joy project here in Prince Edward County. As you can see, our community is awash with talent, and we have some really diverse infrastructure that supports the performing arts. This is the Crystal Palace, which is my favorite venue in the county. It's part of the Picton Fairgrounds and was built in 1887. It's a really special place for me because this is where we've hosted 8 years of the Firelight Lantern Festival, and I have so many great memories associated with that. Some people think that nothing happens in rural communities, that it's boring, there's a lack of creativity here. Let me tell you, this could not be further from the truth.